Yeah, it feels like there's a scale that we're getting to a point where we can deploy this technology at now. And there was always some hesitation of, oh, this is going to come and take my job. But augmented reality, I just love the term augmentation in general when we talk about this type of technology, because now if you're short staffed, you can augment your team with some robotics. And so the expectation isn't we're replacing you. Now it's we can do more with less staff. We can save people's health as far as safety goes. There's always, at least at this point in the tech, from what I understand, going to be a fit and finish that a person still has to come in and, oversight and check and make sure everything's good. But we're going to be struggling with labor challenges for a while. That's not an issue that goes away. And so anything we can do to help support that and keep our team safe and keep people, feeling good for the rest of their career because they're not carrying giant pieces of sheetrock around, I consider to be a win.
Oh, absolutely. And especially something like drywall finishing where, again, I mean, let's call it like, let's say 75%, the wall is pretty standard. But then you do have those inside corners, outside corners, soffits, these really high-end detail areas where, let, that trade individual do that area, finish it, support it to a higher level of, like excellence.
Yeah.
Because now they're not bogged down with having to finish just like a straight flat wall. Let the robot do the monotonous, mundane task and allow these, individuals like, the trades to really celebrate what they're good at and leave behind like, a consistent product, and in some cases a better product, because to your point, they're not as tired, they're not as strained, and they're not as overworked.
And there's a beauty in the talent that these tradespeople have as well. It's astonishing. So as I look at, on a very small scale, of course, like renovations in my home, there's some work that I won't even try to do myself. Like I'm not going to lay beautiful tile, no matter how many YouTube videos I watch and how many books I read and how many times I break it and start over and go again. It is not going to look good. And I know that. And so being able to bring people in to do that beautiful part of the work, I think is huge because, and I love your example there too, they're not so tired. They're not doing that monotonous part. They're going to come in and go, I'm okay. We've got our base level stuff set up. Maybe I can do part of that or whatever. Probably not, but maybe, and then they're going to come in there and make it beautiful. And they're going to really showcase just this incredible talent that they have. And I hope we can cultivate more of that too, because I feel like that part of the work is just more exciting for people too. It's more interesting and it makes you think a bit more.
Absolutely. The aspirational side of, like robotics for the trade, as you are talking to individuals in high school and coming up through the craft, when you first start off in like, the entry level job, it's like, okay, just, push a broom or like, lump the material around.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, that's not glamorous. That's not really enticing people to like come work for your crew. But if some of that can be automated, and now, some of that, early time onboarding is spent appreciating like, the craft, bestowing, that skill set and that talent to the next generation where, again, they can actually benefit from the one-to-one, opportunities out there. Yeah, that all of a sudden makes the job seem way more appealing.
Absolutely. And the perception issues we have in construction are challenging just because attracting people in is difficult. And I think the other aspect of that, as you're talking about the artisan part of it, the counterpart is come look at this really interesting technology that you're going to get to work with as well. I mean, I would love to work with robots every day. I think it's really neat. I want to do more site walks. I haven't been on site lately, and I need to get back out and walk around and see some of the new things that are being done right now. And that's exciting and interesting. And it's not like you're out there like playing with toys or whatever. There's a value, but it's still really neat. Like it's why I like having these conversations because I'm a giant nerd.
Yeah. Well, no, it certainly is fascinating to see, again, the willingness of the trades to welcome in, again, these like young kids out of Silicon Valley that said, can I help you with your job?
Yeah.
And before that might have been met with a lot of resistance, but now absolutely. You see a lot of different individuals walking the site and there's just like a new energy around it, which, thankfully, like to your point, the VCs are recognizing, the hardware companies are, and just getting some of this other talent in. Because, I could never have imagined 10 years ago that, a cement mason would also have a side skill set in computer science to, again, run and finish a drywall partition. down there for us at the project.
Yeah, and we're no longer in the realm of the VDC company is the only tech-focused portion of the organization too. In the good organizations are empowering that curiosity, and they're allowing people to build those skill sets. So it's not just, hey, I know you do VDC and you understand tech. Can you come help me with this thing? It's how can we help train everybody to have enough understanding of the different technologies to see where the value is, and then also, troubleshoot or deploy or work on some of it themselves as well. It's empowering at a very large scale.